All right, I'm going to attempt to open up Forecaster from the get-go and find a SKU that I have not looked at yet and analyze it. How I analyze it in Firesale, so that you guys can see exactly what I do. Hopefully, it helps a little bit as you learn how to analyze them yourself and kind of get your own way of doing it. Okay, so we're going to open up Forecaster, logged in. Okay, if you go to Windows and then Firesale, this is the best place to analyze a product. Sometimes someone will send me something, and yeah, the front page of Forecast will give you a lot of information, but not as much as Firesale. Firesale is kind of the same idea as Forecaster, but in a little bit, it goes into a little bit more depth. Okay, so I'm going to load up Supplier because that's what I do most of my stuff in. You can load up all sorts of teams here: Hudson A, Mekong C, Elba C, whatever you are assigned to or need to do or whatnot. Okay, if you have remove visited checked, which is the default, it is going to remove all of the products that have been recently visited. Okay, in the last few weeks, anyways. If I uncheck it, it'll bring up anything. Okay, even if I visited it yesterday, if it deems it needs to be visited, then it will. Okay. So load 10 worst. This is Scott has a algorithm here to determine the 10 worst SKUs that he deems the worst SKUs as far as ones that need attention. You can see most of them are Alliance. That's basically life in the supplier world when you have remove visited unchecked, because Alliance has map and they're strict. They're really hard to work with. So we're actually going to check that. I meant to have that checked in the first place. Okay, these ones are going to be better examples. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Okay, so we have a map. So I know that I can't go below 1165. My price is at 1226 right now. The buy box is at 1225. If you click this section over here, basically clicking the number, it's going to bring up the page. I'll drag it over and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so we want to make sure we're actually looking at the same ASIN here. We're at 6T7. Ours is 6T7. Okay, but we don't have a size selected, so you kind of need to make sure you see this change. So it actually, it changed. So we know that we're not a medium, so we're probably an extra large. We're looking for 6T7 up here. There we go. Okay, now we're on the right page. So the price is actually 1226, and we are in the buy box. And so Forecaster just it updates. You know, it's not always, it's not live. It's not updating on the spot, but so sometimes it's a little bit slower. We actually have two listings on this one. We don't want to have it that way, but we're not going to worry about that right now. 1226 hobby hunters are 1165. Why aren't they in the buy box? Because they're not FBA. They'll probably still get in the buy box. I'm sure we're going to be sharing it with them. We can actually double check that with Control P. If you click on any cell in here and hit Control P, it's going to bring up the pricing history for that product. And this one doesn't have any right now. Okay. But sometimes you can see who's had the buy box when you pull that up. If you hit F1, it's going to show you this cheat sheet over here. Okay, mine's cut off and I actually can't like grab it and drag it over and show you. Click any cell, hit F1, and it's going to show you this cheat sheet, which will show you that Control P. Okay, you can do Control N, and I can see who's done what to the product and when. So this one hasn't had much done to it actually, because it's still fairly new. It's 90 to 180. Okay, so anyways, let's go back to it. So we know we're at 1165. We're actually in the buy box, and we have 100% buy box. So I'm not too worried about getting in the buy box at all. Actually, I'm not worried at all because we're already in it. We only have 2 in stock. We sold 0 in the last 30 days. So the question is, well, why isn't it selling? We have, 0 sales. We have the buy box. Well, I can look over here and be like, well, it only has 1 page view. And if you hover above it, it'll show you a number of times the SKU has been viewed on Amazon. I believe this one is within the last week or so. I could never remember all the dates that these numbers are exactly pulled from, but I know it's not getting visited like I probably like. This one is, And so we could look into product page optimization and those kind of things, you know, and making the page look pretty if it's prettier if it's, you know, an ugly looking page. This one looks pretty good though. Honestly, with this one, I'm not too worried about it because we are still in the early stages of it. 0 to 90, you're pretty much not going to do anything with it most of the time. 90 to 180, I would say very seldom. You know, if we weren't in a 100% buy box, you might consider something. But once you get over that, especially 365 plus, like we need to do something. But this one, and the reason being is the system is still going to play with it. Okay, we have things intact like floor and S floor. Let me show you those right here. Okay, and the system basically can go down to those. We're not even at map, so basically we still have room to drop to map. And then if we still can't sell it at map, we can consider breaking map if we get permission or others are breaking map. And then we can drop to S floor and floor. So there's still a lot of different things that the system alone can do and we don't need to do yet. Now, if the storage fees, this one doesn't have any storage fees right now updated. I'm sure it has storage fees, it's just we're not gathering that information right now. Then that's something we need to consider. You know, if it has a lot of storage fees and we're not selling it, then we need to move it. This one you can't tell right now, but let's just go ahead. We're going to go ahead and visit this one and give it a little bit of time to work itself out. Let's look at one with no map so we can work with it a little bit more and storage fees. Okay, so our margin's 382 on this guy. We have 8 in stock. We've sold 1 in the last 30 days at 100% buy box. Let's quick take a look at it. You actually don't really have to take a look at anything. I mean, I would, because like you saw in the last example, sometimes it's not quite up to date what you're looking at in Firesale as far as numbers. 1232. So we, you know, we're the only FBA seller on here, so we're getting buy box. These guys are at 695, but you got to include shipping. These guys are 1170, but they're not FBA, and so now if they were to drop to like $9 and give free shipping, they'd probably get the buy box. But there's, you know, there's certain amounts that you need to be under if you're going to not be an FBA and whatnot. Anyway, so we got buy box. It's not old at all by any means. We do have a storage fee, but I'm not too concerned about it. So here's a big thing that we just introduced today. Really excited about it, actually. If you look, scroll over, we have the sell down storage cost, okay? You can actually drag columns. Sometimes clicking on it and doing it the first time, it won't work. Like you need to like click on it to highlight it and then click on it to move it, whatever. But we're gonna drag this all the way over. And see, doesn't work. Oh, didn't work the second time. Grab and drag. There we go. Okay, so now it's in my field of view. And you can arrange things how you want. These are all arranged how I want it. And this is a great starting point. You can look at mine as an example because most of this stuff you're going to be using this information. A lot of this information you're not. Like I don't need to know that it's in sports for the most part I don't. Maybe some people do. But anyways, like some of this stuff isn't even, there's no nothing even in the fields for it. Okay, so going back down to this product, 139. Okay, well what does that mean? You can highlight over it and it shows you. Fees the company pays, it goes way quick, to keep a SKU in inventory. Okay, so how that number is actually calculated is we're going to take, so we want to figure out how much we're going to pay in fees by the time it sells out at the given rate. Okay, so right now it has 400 days remaining, right? We're going to divide that by 30. That gives us 13.3 months. That is going to be times by half of the storage fee. Okay, so roughly 5.5. Wait, sorry, I did something wrong there. Okay, 400 days remaining divided by 30, 13.3 months times by half of, oh sorry, I did 5.5, 0.55. $7.33. Okay, yeah, we still have some work to do on that thing. It was correct before. We'll fix that, okay? But, oh wait, sorry, I'm looking at two different things right here. But I still did 400. Okay, 400. It's probably frustrating because you guys can see my mistake and I'm probably not seeing it. 0.11, not 0.55. Yeah, did I, Justin? Okay, 0.055. Because that's 5 cents. There we go. 73 cents. And it's 73 cents. Okay, sorry. That was a struggle. When I'm making these videos, sometimes it's hard to think because you know people are going to watch it. Okay, so that's where I get that. So that is basically going to tell me, okay, we're going to pay 73 cents by the time it sells out at the given rate. That's great because all I have to do is sell one, and we've covered the fee for a long time. We could have it in stock for a long time. So I'm okay letting it sell at the current rate, honestly. I don't really care to make any adjustments to it because we only have $24 in value. We're not getting hit with fees very often. And we can quick look at the sales. And we can see, I mean, yeah, we've sold a couple this, we sold a few in the last couple months. And so I'm just going to leave it. So we're going to hit visited. Make sure you hit visited when you've analyzed a SKU and done something to it. Yeah, so we haven't made any changes really, actually at all. And so a lot of the times you don't. Sometimes the best move is to leave it. But let's say, like, for instance, rather than reanalyzing this, I'm just going to throw out some crazy numbers. Let's say the storage fee said $24, okay? And we look, and since it's not calculated, I'm going to have to do it again. Don't judge me. Let's see if I can do it. 400 divided by 30. It's funny that I struggled with that because I was the one who came up with this thing. Okay, so I said the storage fees was going to be, let's say $24, so we're going to do half of them. The reason you do half is because as you sell out and the quantity goes down, the storage fee goes down too. So if it's 8 and the storage fee is $24, well, when you're only at 4, the storage fee is going to be 12. When you're at 1, the storage fee is going to be 3. Okay, so it's going to go down. So we're going to do divided by half because half are going to be higher, half are going to be lower. Okay, so 160 bucks. So I'm like, okay, well, we only have $12 of value, and we're going to pay 160 by the time it sells out. Yeah, let's get rid of this or do something. And let's say it was 100% buy box. If it wasn't, then the first thing I do is not destroy it. First thing I do is get it in the buy box because we want to give ourselves a fair chance to sell it. Some people think, oh, I got to destroy it right now because it's $12 of value. We have paying 160 fees, whatever. No, let's try and sell it. Let's get in the buy box, whether that means losing most of our margin. That's fine. Let's try and recoup what we can. But if we are indeed 100% buy box and we're paying that much in fees, and let's say it's getting a lot of page views, it's getting visited, it's just not getting bought, then yeah, we probably want to destroy it or remove it to the store and sell it in the store. Actually, the first things you're going to want to do, and you can look up the Firesale guide, but we're going to look for different UPCs. You can do Control U, okay? Like I said, highlight on a sale, hit Control U, and it brought up other listings for this being one of them. And it's the one we're on. Wait, I think, yeah, let's double check. 591. We actually haven't even looked at the product, so I don't know. And 591. Yep, it's the same one. Okay, so there's not another listing we can put it on. We're already at 100% buy box, so dropping the price probably wouldn't do much. A coupon on wouldn't do much. I mean, the product's already cheap, And so if that were all the case, I would destroy it. Okay, unless you can sell it in the store. But you don't want to remove everything to the store. And let's say there's 100 in stock and you want to get rid of it. Only remove like 10 to the store if you think it can sell there. We're not going to remove all 100 here and sell it. It's just we're never going to sell it. That has been proven in the past by many different examples if you just walk out on the floor. So we're just going to, in that case, I'd remove 10, sell in the store, and then I'd destroy 90. It's going to cost 15 cents to destroy, and yeah, we're going to lose all of our value, but heck, 15 cents times by 8, whatever that is not very much, plus $12 of value we lose is way better than losing 160 bucks. Okay, so that's an example. You destroy something. Let's say there was a different UPC for it. Okay, a different listing rather. When you did that UPC search, you could put it on that different listing if it has better sales. We do that all the time. Then you would remove the inventory to indie, put sell on this SKU for that ASIN. Normally we already have a SKU generated for that ASIN for the listing, and then you just send it back in. That costs $1, okay, 50 cents to remove, 50 cents to send back in. But that's better than losing 160 bucks, right? Let's try and sell it under something else. But like you're really playing, I mean, this is a really bad example because it's such small values. But like, if it was 14, if we had 14 in stock and $12 of value, you're not going to remove and send back in because that's $14 to do that, and our value is only 12. So you got to use some common sense, analyze it, analyze the different situations and what you can do with it. Remember that sometimes the best thing is to not do anything at all, especially if it's a young product. Give it a chance. But before you ever destroy something or remove something or anything, let's first look at different listings. Okay. Let's second make sure the listing that we're on looks good. If we can't go to different listing, because we can do product page optimization and just little quick things. And third, let's make sure that we're in the buy box and giving ourselves a fair chance. You can do all sorts of things from here. You can visit, I can click review, and I can have the product sent to me on whatever date I want to review it for whatever reason and put a note in there. Coupon value. This is something that's still being updated. If some items have coupons on them and it's not showing in the coupon value, that will still be need to be updated. But you can do all sorts of things. Okay, you can do bundle work from here. You can break maps. You can all sorts of stuff. We can scroll all the way over. A lot of these items you don't need to worry about, but some of them you do. Okay. Just to go into a little bit more depth of Firesale, since we're here, I can show users logs. Those are all the, that's for the product. So you can actually highlight one and hit show user logs, and it will bring up information. Sometimes it takes time to load though. That's basically the same as Control N. Okay, it's gonna bring up the same information. I can hit track SKUs, okay? So these are the ones I'm looking at. These are the ones I hit review on, and they're going to be sent to me at a specific date on 6/12, okay? And then my note, what I want to do with it. These are part of a campaign that we are running actually, and then going to look at. So you can hit hide SKU. Now, if you have one sent to you and you want to get rid of it, you just hit that and hit hide, and it will stop being sent to your email. Yeah, other things, like Firesale buckets. If you want to look at all your stuff with high quantity, if you want to look at stuff, suppressed, not selling, all sorts of stuff, you can analyze your products in many different ways. I always suggest if you're going to pull something up inside of a bucket, like high quantity, analyze it with the mindset of high quantity, okay? Think, okay, this has a lot of stock. What do I want to do to get less stock or to get a move or whatever, okay? Just kind of think of it that way and analyze them differently, because the same product, let's say it's high quantity and also has, it's stale high investment, it's not moving, and there's a lot invested into it. That could be the same product in two different buckets. So the other thing, you can organize by however you want. Just click it and it'll resort it. Click it again and it'll go ascending order. I can say I want to look at everything with a buy box of 100%. Okay, I'm going to hit Control, click, and put in a value of 100 equals submit. Boom. Okay, I want to look at everything with 100% buy box. Sales in the last 30 days that are over 1, so greater than 1. Oh crap. See, you can actually click Control and hit this corner button and go to save filters, current filters, and I can click this one and hit remove. Okay, and then yeah, it drives me crazy how all the colors go away. There we go. Bring the colors back. So let's just do greater than 0. I realize this will take away all of them except the 1. Okay, that brings those 3, and then I want to order it in ascending order. Boom, 100% buy box. 1's over that, over 1, and I ordered it. Okay, so I do that all the time because if you're gonna pull up 1,000 SKUs, well, the most important ones could be at the bottom. Okay, so I first suggest to everyone that I work with, as far as looking at big lists, is to order it according to the most important ones. Okay, however you deem finding the most important ones, whether it's total value. Let's see the ones that we have the most value in. The ones, like a good sort would be, okay, I want to see the ones we have the most value in with the highest storage fees and 0 sales in the last 30 days. And let's say that brings the list down to 30. We'll work on those 30 first and then undo the filters, redo them or whatever, and focus on the next, batch. Because we need to do those ones first. My biggest sort usually is storage fees, okay? Because that's what we're getting hit with in the now. And I want to know if we're getting hit with $100 storage fee every month. I don't want that to be number 980 on my list of 1,000 that I don't see until I'm working on that list for weeks. Okay, I want that to be at the first. Fix it, get it done, and move on to the less important ones. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. That's kind of a little bit more in-depth analyzation of a SKU or SKUs rather, and really how to kind of work Firesale at a more advanced level. So remember F1, that's going to bring you your shortcuts. Memorize those shortcuts. They're huge. If I want to look at the sales on this, Control S, okay? Boom, I can look at the sales. I want to be like, okay, when was the last time we ordered it? Control O. Oh, it doesn't have order history, so that's kind of weird. So we need to look into, well, maybe, I bet you that there's more SKUs for this one. So I'm going to grab the UPC, not the SKU, because that's only going to search that SKU. I'm going to look at UPC. Oh, there's only one. Okay, product ID is missing. Yeah, you're like, okay, well, how was it ordered then? Because there's no order history on it. Those ones get tricky, not to look into it now, but those ones get tricky. A lot of times there's multiple SKUs and it was ordered on a different one, processed under this, and you got to kind of, though we call those, a lot of times they're called misorders. Misorders are probably the biggest headache, in my opinion, in this business because it's like, why did we get it? And it's a terrible product usually or whatever. So anyways, but yeah, memorize those. We can go straight to Seller Central with Control M. Look at our manage inventory page. We can see if it's active. Kind of go from there. Hopefully that helps. And sorry that's a little longer than I was expecting, but let me know if you have any questions.